What's up? I'm Noelle at Noelle's Notions, and this is Fame by the Flame with Billy Racxx. All right, so we are out in Brooklyn right now, right? So, and you're in the studio session. I'm glad that we caught you here making some new music.
Yep.
Okay, so do you want to talk a little bit about some of the new projects that you are working on right now?
So, shit, I just dropped, really, I'm just living into this religion shit right now. Religion and Revengers, those are my two latest projects I recently dropped in. You know, living as an independent, you want to try to make sure the mass, it's like a whole bunch of people that haven't heard your shit. So even though that first wave hit and I felt lit, it's still millions of people haven't heard that shit. So I'm kind of living in that and embracing that. So Religion and Revengers was made with Strick, who's with YSL, that's my bro. So I'm constantly every day getting people coming up to me talking about that. You know, a lot of the people that's hopping in my DMs and shit are getting hip through that new music. So, and then I don't know if you meant by that question like what I got coming, which is I got that plan, but kind of what I'm living in is Religion and Revengers, and I have two projects coming out at the top of next year. I don't know if I want to just say the names too right now.
Well, we can leave a little bit for the fans to guess, right?
Yeah.
I think let's talk about your two projects that you already are really pushing right now, Religion and Revengers, and the things that are really incredible about those two projects, at least from my perspective, is the fact that it's not only just the music, right? It's a whole production. And, you know, you're not only just a musician, but you're a director as well. And all of your creative constructions are all made from up here, right? Basically from you that you've put out to visualize your interpolation of what your music is for other people to view. So, you know, some of your imagery I find really interesting, right? Kind of reminds me of like segment of American Horror Story. Some of your visuals, right? Okay, so how do you come up with these ideas, right? They obviously live up here, but how do you put them into, you know, like actualized form?
My manager, I was just my manager last night. She just flew back to LA. She was telling me her mom watching all my videos. Her mom's real religious.
Okay.
So she be having to tell her mom like, chill out. Like my boy's like he's an expressionist. Like he, you know, like I like to make my visuals match how the song made you feel. So so if the song made you feel like greedy or like it make you feel like you want to fucking ball your fist, then I'm gonna make the visual gonna kind of feel like that. So that's kind of how Dead Friends came out. I came on that song like what the fuck I say, like I don't give a fuck about no new nigga, he can't get us to the new M's. Like I came on that shit like yo, I know this sound is harsh, I know this shit fucking you up right now, and I'm confident in this shit, and it's real. So like with that visual, the fact that it ended up turning like a horror film, that's cool. I'm influenced by horror. Like I used to watch horror films all growing up, so it's not surprising that shit kind of like I used to like be that kid, like watch Jeepers Creepers and sit on the couch that's face and I would sit on the couch that's like with my back towards the living room, like the open space, just stupid shit because I like scary movies. So like it kind of, I see that it comes off in my visuals. And Dead Friends is actually one of my favorite videos too. So like but with that video, I mean, I was just trying to match the vibe of the song, and that song hard as shit. It's like one of the main songs on Religion. So
well, I really like the fact that not only are you behind the creative construction of it, but then you're also acting in it, right? So it's like you're playing multidimensional roles when you put out a project. So I think it is right that you're letting fans kind of soak it all in over time, because there's a lot to soak in, right? Now, I'm really curious, being from Florida, right? Now living in Texas, traveling all over the world, how does your, I know you're not defined by your location, but how does your location maybe play into the energy that you put into the music you create? Like, do you create different sounds when you're in different locations, or, you know, meeting different people have different vibes? What
I will say about the location shit is, when I was young, I used to have speech problems. And if you're from Florida, we talk very fast. Like, I had speech problems saying I was dumb, smart as shit. But I just had speech classes. I used to give us cupcakes and all that shit. I remember that shit. But, like, we talk fast in Florida. So moving to Texas, everybody, when I talk, like, huh. And I found myself trying to slow my shit down. But then that would make, like, some of the words I say sound like gibberish because I wouldn't complete it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just stupid shit like that. But it influenced my music good, I think. Because, like, the shit how I manipulate my voice, that shit's so natural. But the world's seeing it. It's so different and evolutionary. So that's the one way I think moving affected my music. Affected my music on like the mechanic side, but just on the influence side. I mean, just on like life. Hell yeah, like Houston is strong in culture, and Florida's strong in culture.
Yeah.
I grew up in Florida as a kid, running streets, Eatonville, like running around the hood. But that's when I was a kid, so it's like I'm kind of innocent. Then I moved to Texas, which is different, and I go to high school there. That's my adolescence. So I fucked with my first female. That's where I did my first drugs. That's where all that shit. So Houston influenced me heavy, like crazy.
So obviously you kind of have a different way of intaking energy, but then also the way that you formulate like how you portray it to others is really differently. Have you always felt like that way as like a child, that you always kind of think differently, or you're a little bit different from others?
Yeah, that came in a lot of different ways. Like one way I could break it down is like I'm from shit or whatever, but my dad is trap nigga, always had the shit together. So I played baseball, select baseball. So I got to be around the white kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I went home from school, I got to ride the bikes home from school a couple times to their house. You know, they stayed around the school, we stayed in the hood, we passed their house to go to school. We was that one bus. So it was like little shit like that I see play into like how I'm able to take in different things rather than like another minority that's kind of grew up how I grew up. I take in shit different. I'm more accepting different shit I seen on TV growing up. All that shit affected who I am right now. And then moving to Texas, even though Texas did influence me, like being all this mixture shit made me the alien. So that's the alien shit. And then also just organically with my craft, like it's put me in there. It's put me out there. So I embrace that shit, and it drives a lot of shit my way. It drives a lot of like curiosity from people and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's ultimately me, man, because like I'm an artist. Like I just want to be interpreted from my craft. Yeah. So like when you relate that to who I am as a person, like, oh, you meet me and you may be like, shit, like in visuals, like I got this such of a strong vibe, and then when I talk to him, maybe he's a little bit more personable than I thought he was gonna be. Well, I'm an artist. Yeah. Like it's not a gimmick. Yeah. So it's like what you want, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, speaking of your interpretation, right? I know we were talking about this earlier of like energy and just things in general, right, are neutral, and people can portray it as good or bad, or, you know, what you're talking about, like, you know, evil, or, you know, whatever, different types of things, right? How do you want to be interpreted? Like what's your lasting effect on, you know, the music industry, and just most importantly, like the connections that you make with the people that you know, touch with your music?
I just want to be interpreted over and over and over by different people in different ways. I want different people to relate to me in different ways. I want it all. Okay. And then I guarantee I could accept it. I can handle it all. So I don't want to just be like this type of nigga. Like people are gonna box niggas, what people do. You know what I'm saying? People go, oh, people listen to it and be like, oh, this. People listen to music, like, oh, this sounds like this person, or they try to relate it to something. So people are gonna do that. But ultimately, like when this all this shit took in the range of my music, who I am as a person, all this shit, I don't want to be interpreted as one specific shit. Okay. I just want to be interpreted.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, kind of, again, your sound is reaching a multitude of people, so it's like you want that imagery of yourself to have multiple variations, right? I really want to talk about your project, Flamingos and Finches, right? So that was, what, done 2 years ago? Yeah. Okay, and it was really extraordinary for the time that it was put out, because even now you have a lot of artists who are kind of, you know, riding that same wave of, right, combining the visuals and the music, but you did it definitely really different than a lot of other people. If you guys have not seen that video, you have to go on to YouTube and check it out. It's amazing. It's really just like a whole summary of that project in like a quick little video. The part that I found really cool, I think it's like near the end at like minute 13 or something, but where it's like a little piece of you in a backyard, you're smoking just like this, really casual, right? I mean, you talk about, I think, like waking up with a little bit of anxiety because you know what you need to do and you know what you're doing, but it's a lot. And just the gravity of the responsibility that you have to this world to make your voice heard or make your story told. So I want to talk a little bit more about that, like your personal side to it as well, because I think a lot of people don't understand that creatives have all of this, you know what I mean, behind them, right? That it's not just about the music, it's about really bearing your soul for people to tune into.
Well, I always say, like, I speak for the humble lit nigga. Like, I speak for the nigga that's super